नमस्कार, मैं हूँ राजनंदनी शर्मा और आप देख रहे हैं वीकली राउंडअप। हर हफ्ते वीकली राउंडअप में मैं आपके लिए कुछ इवेंट्स, प्रोग्राम्स और ढेर सारी ऐसी खबरें लेकर आती हूँ जो इंडियन डायस्पोरा यूके से रिलेटेड होती है। कहीं ना कहीं हर हफ्ते मैं आपको इंडियन कम्युनिटी से जोड़ने की कोशिश करती हूँ। इस हफ्ते भी मैं आपके लिए कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें लेकर आई हूँ, कुछ ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स और इवेंट्स लेकर आई हूँ जो यूके के अंदर हुए हैं। सबसे पहले शुरू करती हूँ, मेरा पहला प्रोग्राम जो है वो है लेस्टर में गीता फेस्टिवल ऑर्गेनाइज किया, जहाँ पर बहुत सारी भीड़ मौजूद रही। इतने सारे लोग उस फेस्टिवल में देखने को मिले। धूमधाम से गीता फेस्टिवल को मनाया गया। लोगों ने नाचा गाया और एकदम शानो शौकत से पूरा गीता फेस्टिवल लेस्टर में एकदम गूंज उठा। एक झलक आपके सामने गीता फेस्टिवल की।
तेरे चरणों में बार बार प्रणाम बिहारी तेरे चरणों में। चले अपने धाम बिहारी तेरे चरणों में। बोलो बाकी बिहारी लाल चरणों में। बिहारी तेरे चरणों में, बिहारी तेरे चरणों में, चरणों में। बिहारी तेरे चरणों में, बिहारी तेरे चरणों में।
बढ़ते हैं आगे। तो जो मेरा अगला इवेंट है वो था नेहरू सेंटर में, जहाँ पर क्लासिकल डांसेस किए गए, भरतनाट्यम की परफॉर्मेंसेस हुई। आपको दिखाना चाहूंगी कि क्या कुछ हुआ उस इवेंट में।
நங்கை கையிலை நாதன் தன்னை கண்டாள் மனம் கொண்டாள் நாணி பூனிது சிந்த நின்றாள் நங்கை கையிலை நாதன் தன்னை கண்டாள் மனம்
बढ़ते हैं आगे। राइट ऑनरेबल डिएड्रा कोस्टिगन, द एमपी फॉर साउथ हॉल, ईलिंग साउथ हॉल आई वुड से, जिन्होंने हाल ही में 23,000 वोटों से अपनी जीत हासिल की है। इस बार वो एमपी बनी है साउथ हॉल की। उनसे जब हमने बातचीत की राम मंदिर में जो साउथ हॉल में है, वहाँ पर उन्होंने काफ़ी कुछ बताया कि किस तरीके से वो चेंजेस लाने वाली है साउथ हॉल के अंदर, वो क्या कुछ करने वाली है, उनकी आगे की क्या प्रायोरिटी पॉलिसीज़ हैं, उन सब पर भी हमने बात की। आपको सुनाना चाहूँगी कि उन्होंने क्या कुछ कहा, वो क्या कुछ कहना चाहती है आप सबसे। आपके लिए डिएड्रा कॉस्ट्यूम। Deidra, first of all, many congratulations to you for
Thank
your
you.
win.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about how you're feeling right now, and also what will be changed in South Hall in these coming years.
I'm feeling very excited. I think we've had 14 years of a Conservative government where there was so many things that were going wrong with the country. But we had a Conservative government, we had a Labour MP here in Ealing South Hall, but it's very hard to make a big difference when the government is of a different party. So now we have a Labour MP and we have a Labour government. So I'm really excited how we can make changes for Ealing South Hall with that partnership in place. And the Labour Party had some great policies in our manifesto that I think will really make a difference for Ealing South Hall.
So yeah, you're standing here in Mandir, in a temple. So as we can know, as we can see that there are different communities living in Ealing South Hall specifically, and also Indian community have a huge population. So what would you like to give a message to the Indian community or the people of Indian diaspora?
I mean, first of all, to say thank you to everyone who voted for me, and also, even to those who didn't vote for me. I want to stand up for all of the communities in Ealing Southall. I've said before, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in Ireland, and I immigrated here in the 1990s to finish my education and to find a job. And I know many people in Ealing Southall have gone that same route. But perhaps from a little bit further than from Ireland. And I know all of us came here because we wanted to succeed in life. But I think in the last 14 years, there have been more and more barriers put up against people's aspirations. And I've knocked on doors across Ealing Southall where people from the Indian diaspora and other communities have all had the same complaints, which was, I can't get an appointment at the GPs, there's too much antisocial behaviour and no police officers, and my bills are going up. I can't pay the rent, I can't pay the mortgage. These are all the problems people had in Ealing Southall, whatever community they were from. So I want to work with the new Labour government to stabilise the economy as we promised we would do, and also to invest in public services like the NHS, like putting police back on our streets, making sure teachers are properly qualified teaching our kids. That's what I want to do for Ealing Southall, and I think that goes for all communities.
So how often do you visit the temples, and are you visiting mosques, gurudwaras and other organizations which are related to different communities?
Yeah, throughout the campaign, I got out to visit as many places of worship as I possibly could. I went to a convent school myself in Ireland, so I was taught by nuns until I was 18, and I understand how important faith is. And again, coming here as an immigrant, I think for a lot of people, it was the mosques, the churches, the gurdwaras, the mundas that helped us to get settled when we first arrived here. So I know how important those places are. So I've been to as many as I could in the very short 5 weeks of the campaign. But now I'm going back to some that I went to during the campaign. But I also want to go to as many more places of worship in Ealing Southall as I can. So, anyone who would like me to come along, I'm more than happy to come and speak to people. I want to know what you'd like your MP to do. I want to listen to you and make sure I'm your voice in Parliament and I'm standing up for your needs.
Before you, it was the Labour MP Sharma, and he was from the Indian origin, and you're from Ireland. So will it make a difference, and was it difficult?
I think Virendra Sharma did a brilliant job as MP, 17 years representing this community. I think he did a great job. He is a fantastic public servant. And in my campaign, he was really helpful and supportive. In fact, he brought me round to many of the places of worship and introduced me to people there and gave me his backing. So we're very close, we work very well together, and I hope we'll continue to do that. As I say, being an Irish person, I don't have the same experiences of people who have come here from different countries, but I have some similar experiences. My family don't live in this country, so I had to, find my own network of friends. I had to find ways of succeeding in this country on my own, and I know that's what lots of people in Ealing Southall have had to do. I've had to work hard, and Ealing Southall is about working hard. I mean, that's something we're really good at here. I've been a trade unionist most of my life, and I worked for Unison, which is the biggest trade union in the UK. It has 1.3 million members, and I've represented lots of people from different communities, including lots of people from the Indian diaspora, where they weren't treated properly at work. And so that's the kind of experience I think I'll bring to the job as well.
And also, there are a few things which are very common in Southall, where people say that crime, the first, then it's not that hygienic there like the other areas in London. So what do you think, what change you'll bring to Ealing Southall?
Yeah, I think crime is always something that's been raised on the doorstep, and I think it's really important to understand that in the last 14 years the Conservative government have taken away so much of the funding for local policing in London. So under the Labour government up until 2010, we had what's called neighbourhood policing, and every single ward in Ealing Southall had 6 police officers and community support officers. So 6 police and community support officers for every ward. Since 2010, that has been reduced and reduced and reduced, and now most wards only have one and a half police and community support officers. And that's had a huge impact on our streets. It means now that people don't feel safe walking through Southall at night. And I see myself some of the issues, street drinking, and we can see that there's a drugs market going on in Southall as well. So what we need is more police. It's really, that's a big part of the issue. So now we have a Labour government. Labour has promised in our manifesto that we are going to put 13,000 more police and community support officers on the streets. And as your MP, I'm going to make sure that some of those are in Ealing Southall and that we ramp up again policing onto our streets, because that's so important. I think we also need to work on some of the reasons why perhaps people get involved in crime or antisocial behaviour. And of course, addiction is a big problem that we do need to address. But we also need to make sure that our young people have things to do and are helped to get a job and to live a productive life. So Labour also said that we will invest in a network of youth hubs across the country and that we will also make sure there's proper careers guidance and help with getting a job for young people. The other issue that you mentioned, and that does also come up on the doorstep, is litter and fly tipping. And again, under the Conservative government, local councils saw their funding reduced. Ealing Council lost something like 65p in every pound of the funding they used to get under the Labour government. And that means that the council, most of their money goes on adult social care or children's social care. So it's going to be difficult for Labour to put more money into councils right now because we know the economy is broken. But what I do want to see is more work on tackling fly tippers, and that's something that I want to work on with the government. We need to treat fly tipping like organised crime, and we need to look at whether there's ways that we can treat it nationally. We can have work done nationally that makes it more difficult for some of these criminal gangs actually to take money from people and to dump the rubbish on the streets rather than bringing it to the dump.
And my last question is, there are a lot of students living here and a lot of students coming here, especially in Southall, because the community lives here, especially the Asian community, if I talk about India, Pakistan. So what will be the few steps the Labour government will take or have their manifesto that for the students specifically who are coming here on sponsorship, because they don't find, most of them are unemployed, they don't find jobs here. So, and it has been a big issue these days.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I came to this country myself originally as a student. I came here to finish my education, and so I know that many people come here for that same reason. And it's a really important thing. And I think students, once they're qualified, can contribute so much to this country. They contribute to the economy. They're exactly the people who will be paying their taxes and making sure that the NHS of the future is properly funded, because the more workers we've got, the better our public services will be, and we'll have that money to spend on public services. So I know it's something that the Labour Party will be looking at, and we know it's really important. We also know that it's important that our higher education and further education is properly funded. There has been, really some of our education institutions are quite close to breaking point financially. So that is going to be a very challenging piece of work that Labour is going to have to look at. We are going to look at that, from the start. We're going to have to hit the ground running on what we do, because it's such an important part of the economy, drawing in talent and expertise and entrepreneurship from across the globe. And we need to make sure we harness that talent and we remain a really important place for people to get great qualifications and in the future contribute to our public services and our business life.
Thank you so much. आज की वीकली राउंडअप में बस इतना ही। अगले हफ्ते फिर मिलूंगी ऐसे ही कुछ प्रोग्राम्स, इवेंट्स और खबरों के साथ। तब तक के लिए देखते रहिए एमएन टीवी, बिकॉज इट्स योर चैनल ऑफ चॉइस।